Imagine you had one shot to go back and fix every wrong turn. Mike O'Donnell was a high school basketball star who gave up his future for love. 20 years later, he's divorced, jobless, and his kids don't respect him. One night, he magically becomes 17 again. Now he enrolls in the same school as his own son and daughter, not to reclaim his glory, but to save his family from falling apart. The film begins in the autumn of 1989. We are at Hayden High School in a small American town. The gymnasium is packed with cheering students, and the air smells of sweat, popcorn, and teenage hope. On the basketball court, number 42 is everywhere. His name is Mike O'Donnell. He is 17 years old, tall, quick, and confident. He dribbles between defenders, jumps higher than anyone, and scores basket after basket. The crowd loves him. College scouts sit in the front row, holding clipboards and writing notes. Mike O'Donnell is going places. After the game, Mike walks through the hallways with his girlfriend, Scarlett. She is beautiful, smart, and kind. They have been together for a while, and everyone says they are the perfect couple. Mike has a full scholarship offer to a good university. His future is a straight line to success. But then Scarlett takes a deep breath and tells him something that changes everything. She is pregnant. With his child. Mike is shocked. He does not know what to say. He looks at Scarlett, and he sees fear in her eyes. She is afraid he will leave. She is afraid he will choose basketball over her and the baby. Mike has only a few hours to decide. That night is the biggest championship game of his life. The whole town is watching. The scout is there. If he plays well, his future is set. But if he stays with Scarlett, he will have to give up the scholarship, find a job, and become a father at 17. Mike makes his choice on the court. The game starts. He looks into the stands and sees Scarlett crying. He sees her hand on her stomach. In that moment, he drops the ball. He walks off the court, takes off his jersey, and leaves the gym. He walks towards Scarlett. He chooses her. He chooses the baby. The screen goes black. 20 years pass. We now see the same Mike O'Donnell. He is 37 years old. He is no longer a star. He works as a salesman in a bland office building. His desk is messy. His boss is younger than him and treats him like a failure. Mike drives an old car. He wears cheap suits. He has a son named Alex and a daughter named Maggie. Both are teenagers. Both barely speak to him. His wife, Scarlett, is filing for divorce. She says Mike has spent 20 years blaming her for the life he lost. She says he lives in the past, always talking about the championship game he never finished. Mike does not deny it. He feels like a ghost. The divorce papers arrive. Mike has to move out. He has nowhere to go except to his old best friend from high school, Ned. Ned was the nerdy kid in 1989, the one who read science fiction and could not talk to girls. But now Ned is a millionaire. He invented some kind of software and sold it. He lives in a huge, strange house full of video games, movie memorabilia, and a life-size statue of a character from a fantasy film. Ned never grew up, but he never had to. He welcomes Mike with open arms. Mike is miserable. He drives to Hayden High, the same school. He walks through the halls, remembering who he used to be. He sees a trophy case with his old photo. He sees a poster for a basketball game. He feels like time has stopped for everyone except him. Then he sees the janitor. The janitor is an old man with grey hair and wise, tired eyes. He stands near the football field, sweeping leaves. Mike starts complaining about his life. He says he wants a do-over. He says he wants to go back and make the right choice. The janitor looks at him and says nothing at first. Then he asks a simple question. What would you do differently? Mike says everything. He would play that game. He would take the scholarship. He would never have married so young. The janitor nods and waves his hand toward a strange, glowing light near the bleachers. Mike thinks it is a reflection. He walks toward it. And suddenly, he is spinning. The world twists and turns. Lights flash. When Mike opens his eyes, he is lying on the grass. He is wearing different clothes. His hands are young. His body is lean and strong. He runs to a nearby car window and looks at his reflection. He is 17 again. Same face, same hair, same everything from 1989. Mike panics. He runs to Ned's house and pounds on the door. Ned opens it and does not recognize him. Mike has to prove who he is. He tells Ned things only the real Mike would know. He describes the time they snuck into a movie theater. He describes Ned's secret comic book collection. He describes the exact words Ned said when he first saw a girl in high school. Ned finally believes him. He is terrified and excited at the same time. This is the most incredible thing that has ever happened to him. Mike decides to use this second chance. He will go back to Hayden High as a new student. Ned will pretend to be his father. They create a fake name. Mike becomes Mark Gold. Ned buys him new clothes, a new phone, and a fast car. Mike is ready to replay his senior year. He plans to win the basketball championship, get the scholarship, and live the life he was supposed to live. But when Mike walks into Hayden High as Mark Gold, he sees something he did not expect. His son, Alex, is a student here. His daughter, Maggie, is also a student here. And his wife, Scarlett, now works as the school guidance counselor. Mike is suddenly inside his own family's lives, but they have no idea who he really is. He watches Alex from a distance. Alex is shy and awkward. He wears baggy clothes and tries to be invisible. The basketball team captain, a tall, arrogant boy named Stan, constantly bullies Alex. Stan pushes him in the hallways, steals his lunch, and mocks him in front of other students. Maggie is also dating Stan. She thinks he is cool and popular. She does not see the cruelty. Mike, as Mark, feels a protective fury. He cannot tell them he is their father, but he can help them. Mike starts small. He approaches Alex in the cafeteria and sits down. Alex is suspicious at first, but Mike starts talking about basketball. He notices that Alex has good hands and good footwork, but no confidence. Mike offers to play one-on-one with him. Alex agrees. On the outdoor court, Mike teaches Alex a few moves. He shows him how to defend against a taller player. He shows him how to shoot with better balance. For the first time, Alex smiles. He says nobody ever taught him anything like that. At the same time, Mike watches Maggie. She is pretty and popular, but she changes herself to please Stan. She laughs at his mean jokes. She ignores her old friends. Mike, as Mark, tries to warn her. He tells her that Stan is not a good person. Maggie thinks Mark is just jealous. She also starts to develop a small crush on the new handsome student. This makes everything more complicated. Mike is now in the strange position of having his own daughter flirt with him. He has to carefully push her away while still protecting her. Mike also encounters Scarlett. She is in her office, looking through divorce papers. She looks tired and sad. Mike, as Mark, goes in for a fake appointment. He tells her he is having family problems. He asks her for advice. Scarlett talks about her own marriage. She says her husband, Mike, was a good man once, but he never really grew up. He always looked back instead of forward. She says she still loves the memory of him, but not the man he became. These words hit young Mark like a punch. He realizes for the first time how much pain he has caused. He never meant to make Scarlett feel second place. He thought he was being heroic by giving up basketball, but he was actually being a martyr. He made her feel guilty every single day. Mike changes his plan. He still wants to play basketball, but his real mission becomes fixing his family. He decides to get Alex onto the basketball team. Alex is terrified of Stan and of being humiliated. Mike practices with Alex every afternoon. He builds up his skills and his courage. Then he convinces coach to hold open tryouts. Alex tries out. He is nervous at first, but then he remembers what Mark taught him. He makes 3 shots in a row. He plays solid defense. The coach puts him on the team as a reserve player. Stan is furious. He does not want a loser like Alex on his team. He threatens Alex in the locker room. Mike, as Mark, steps in. He is 17 again, but he has the mind of a 37-year-old man. He does not back down. He looks Stan in the eye and tells him that if he touches Alex again, everyone will know about the stolen exam answers Stan hid in his locker. Stan is shocked. He backs off. For the first time, Alex sees someone stand up for him. The story moves toward the middle of the school year. There is a big dance coming up. Maggie plans to go with Stan. Alex plans to stay home. But Mike tells Alex to ask a girl named Nicole, who has been quietly watching him from a library. Alex is too scared. Mike gives him a speech. He says the worst thing in life is not failing. The worst thing is not trying. Alex finally asks Nicole. She says yes. Alex is overjoyed. Meanwhile, Mike, as Mark, has to deal with his own feelings. He spends time with Scarlett at school events. They talk about books and movies and life. Scarlett says that Mark reminds her of the old Mike, the one she fell in love with. She laughs more when he is around. Mike feels a deep ache in his chest. He wants to tell her the truth. But he cannot. Not yet. One evening, Ned throws a party at his house. The party is supposed to be for Mike, but half the high school shows up because Ned has a famous video game collection. Alex comes with Nicole. Maggie comes with Stan. Scarlett comes because Ned invited her as a friend. The party is going well until Stan gets drunk. He starts yelling at Maggie for talking to another boy. He grabs her arm too hard. Mike sees this. He walks over and calmly tells Stan to leave. Stan laughs and pushes Mike. Mike, with 37 years of pent-up frustration, punches Stan once. Stan falls to the ground. The party stops. Maggie looks at Mark with surprise and gratitude. Stan gets up, embarrassed, and leaves. Maggie thanks Mark. She says nobody has ever defended her like that. Mike has to turn away so she does not see the tears in his eyes. After the party, Scarlett finds Mike alone on Ned's balcony. She says she noticed how he helped Alex and how he stood up for Maggie. She says he is not like most teenagers. Mike almost tells her everything. But he stops. He says he just wants to do the right thing. Scarlett smiles and says she hopes her own son grows up to be like Mark. Mike feels a terrible sadness. He is her son's father, and she does not even know it. The basketball season reaches its final game. The state championship. The same gymnasium. The same crowd. The same college scout in the stands. For Mike, this is the moment he has been waiting for since 1989. This is his do-over. He will play the game he never finished. He will win the trophy. He will get the scholarship. He will become someone else, someone successful and free. But on the morning of the game, something happens. Scarlett calls Ned's house. She asks to speak to Mark. She tells him that she has decided to go to the courthouse that afternoon to finalize the divorce. She cannot wait any longer. The papers are ready. She says she is sorry, but she has to move on with her life. Mike hangs up the phone. He looks at his reflection. He is 17. He has a clear path to a new future. All he has to do is walk into the gym, play the game, and forget about Scarlett. He cannot do it. Mike gets in his car and drives to the courthouse. He leaves his jersey in the locker room. He leaves his shoes behind. The team needs him. The scout is waiting. None of it matters. He runs into the courthouse as Mark Gold, a 17-year-old boy. He finds Scarlett sitting in a hallway, waiting for her lawyer. She is surprised to see him. She asks why he is not at the championship game. Mike takes a deep breath. He says, "Scarlett, it is me. It is Mike." She laughs. She says that is not funny. She tells him to go back to the game. But Mike does not move. He looks her in the eyes and says, "Remember the night we snuck into the old movie theater? You wore a blue sweater. You lost one of your earrings in the car. We sat in the back row and watched a horror film, but you were too scared so you hid your face in my shoulder. After the movie, we walked to the diner and shared a milkshake. You had chocolate, I had vanilla. And you said you hoped every first date would feel like that. But it was not our first date. It was our third." Scarlett stops laughing. Her face changes. Nobody knows that story except Mike. Not even Ned knows about the earring. She looks at the boy standing in front of her. She whispers, "How do you know that?" Mike says, "Because I was there. I am Mike. I was given a second chance. I came back as this. But I am your husband. And I have spent 20 years being angry at you for something you never did wrong. You did not take my future. I gave it to you freely. And I would do it again. Every time." Scarlett starts to cry. She does not fully understand. But she believes him. She reaches out and touches his face. She says, "Prove it one more time. Tell me something nobody else knows." Mike thinks for a moment. Then he says, "On our wedding day, you wrote me a letter. You put it in my jacket pocket. I never read it because I was too nervous. But I kept it. It is still in that jacket, in the back of our closet. The envelope says, 'To my husband, on the first day of the rest of our lives.'" Scarlett breaks down. She knows it is true. She hugs the 17-year-old boy. And in that moment, a warm light surrounds them both. Mike feels his body shift, stretch, and change. When the light fades, he is himself again. 37 years old. Same grey in his hair. Same lines on his face. Same tired eyes. But those eyes are now full of hope. Scarlett looks at him. She sees her husband, the man she married, the man she thought she had lost. She laughs and cries at the same time. They kiss. The divorce papers are torn up. The lawyer looks confused but smiles anyway. But the story is not over. Mike looks at his watch. The championship game has already started. Alex is playing. He is on the court because Mark left. Mike grabs Scarlett's hand and says, "We need to go." They drive to the gym. They run through the doors. The game is close. The other team is leading by 2 points. There are only seconds left. Alex has the ball. He looks scared. He looks at the bench and sees his father standing there, out of breath, wearing regular clothes, not a uniform. Mike yells, "Alex, you can do it. Use the move. The one we practiced." Alex nods. He dribbles. The defender is taller. Alex remembers the footwork. He fakes left, goes right. He jumps. He shoots. The ball arcs through the air. The buzzer sounds. The ball goes through the net. Hayden High wins the championship. The crowd explodes. Alex is lifted onto his teammate's shoulders. He looks for his father. Mike is standing at the edge of the court with tears running down his face. Alex jumps down and runs to him. They hug. Maggie comes running too. She wraps her arms around both of them. Scarlett walks over slowly. She puts her hand on Mike's back. The four of them stand together. The trophy is handed to the team. But the real victory is different. The film ends a few months later. Mike is no longer a salesman. He has gone back to school to become a coach. He is now the assistant basketball coach at Hayden High. He works with his son, Alex, who has become the star of the team. His relationship with Maggie has healed. She laughs with him again. Scarlett and Mike are rebuilding their marriage. It is not perfect, but it is real. One afternoon, Mike walks across the football field. He sees the old janitor again. The same grey-haired man is sweeping leaves. Mike approaches him and says, "Thank you. I do not know who you are or how you did it, but thank you." The janitor looks up and smiles. He says, "I did nothing. You made the choices. You chose love. Twice. The first time you did it out of fear. This time you did it out of courage. That is the difference. Mike nods. He asks, will I ever be 17 again? The janitor laughs. He says, you never needed to be 17. You just needed to remember who you were. Then he picks up his broom and walks away. The wind blows some leaves across the field. Mike stands there for a moment. He looks at the school. He looks at the sky. He smiles. And that is the story of Mike O'Donnell. A man who lost his way, got a second chance, and used it not to change his past, but to love his present. He learned that growing up is not about giving up your dreams. It is about finding new ones. And he learned that the best version of yourself is not the one who wins the game. It is the one who shows up for the people who need you. That is the end of the film. Thank you for listening.